one. We're here at the Walker Stalker Con in New York, New Jersey. It's been crazy all day.
Baby.
And I'm sitting with the
it.
brains of the operations. We've been seeing all the different forms of talent, but here's one of the writers, one of the people that brings all the characters to life. You love the characters? Here's the reason why. The story makers, the creators.
Thank
Jay
you.
Bonansinga, I love your name, man. It has such poetry to it, has a rhythm.
It was originally in Italy, bonansinga.
I love it.
Good sign. Bonansinga sign.
Bonansinga. It's close.
It's
I'm
good.
from Brooklyn. I'm really trying. It's as close to the Godfather as we can get. So how does this blow your mind? I mean,
It does.
It's
It does
huge.
blow my mind.
Do you think The Walking Dead was going to be this huge?
No. I will say though, when I first started talking about it with people before the show started years ago, before there were any books, the comic was maybe in the 50th issue or something. I did think something was special about it. Like it had something that was really unique. That doesn't mean it's going to be huge. You never know. You don't know what's going to become pop, a pop icon. It's impossible to predict. I think it was William Goldman, the great screenwriter, once said, in Hollywood, and he could extrapolate that to television, books, all mediums, nobody knows anything. You don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work.
Right.
But I did think, Frank Darabont is going to, for AMC,
Unreal,
zombies?
Right? Talk about a get, as they say, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was like, well, there's something here. And I was so lucky to get on board this.
Well, the genre's been huge.
Love Boat.
George Romero, you go back to 68, Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
It's been done over.
Right.
So it's obviously popular. Now with all the 2012, the end of the world coming.
Right.
So it was like the timing was not better. But when you talk about putting someone like that in charge, the writing and the crew, and then they get the best actors, it's just exploded. So now here you are, The Rise of the Governor, all the different books you got just waiting. I mean, are you just freaking out? Like, when are we doing some backstory here? I mean, what's going through your mind?
Yeah.
Great writer, great everything. Directs does the whole deal. So now you got these books just sitting there. I don't know if you heard, but in all the panels today, people are talking about, are we going to see prequels? That's the thing. So are we going to? And everybody loves, David Morrissey killed it as the governor. Everybody loves that whole storyline. So people want to get the backstory now. You're the man with the plan. So what's going on with that?
That's become my fate, my destiny. I'm the prequel. I'm
the prequel.
I'm Mr. Prequel.
But the storylines are great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, that was a compliment. I shouldn't just go, yeah, I know, they're great.
Well,
everything's great.
David's already said.
I would totally agree.
He said he would commit to it. He said he loves the character so much. If they go that route, he would actually want to do it. So that's got to be making you think.
I mean, it's a little bit like being Winnie the Pooh and then thrown in a gigantic vat of honey.
He's trying to eat his way out. How ironic. A show about zombies eating everybody.
Right. There you go. That's my metaphor for the day.
I love it. We'll post that on Twitter. Let's get your tweet responses to that one. So what are you working on now? What other projects? Because everybody loves your work. What else you got going on?
Thank you for asking. I'm right in the middle, in the throes of a new Walking Dead novel called Invasion. You heard it here first. You literally heard it here first. I don't think I've named this title in the media. It's probably not even approved by Robert, so I could get killed for doing this.
It's an Adam Thompson Show exclusive, so we all thank Jay.
As we say in Chicago, I could end up in a trunk.
You would say that in New York too.
I know.
We'll cross county lines and do it in both places.
I know it.
So give us a little description. What is it about?
Well, it's really the chronicles of this small town Woodbury and what happens to them after the governor is, taken care of, is vanquished. That's another mafia to, taken care of. They took care of the governor.
We took care of this guy.
Take care of this. We're going to have to go have a talk.
We got to talk to some people who's going to talk to some people, and then Jay and I will get back to you with it. It's one of those things. Well, I know everyone's very excited about it, and I know, it's going to be a bestseller, of course, and everything. How did you even start doing the whole Walking Dead gig? How does that go? Because you wrote so many great books and stuff before that.
That's a good question. I think, this has something to do with it. I worked with Romero. And
there you go.
He was kind of my mentor. I didn't have the job yet. There were like 5 other writers vying for it, and I said to my agent, I said, just tell Robert, just deliver this message for me, which is also another like mob term. Deliver this message promptly for me.
We got another one you can't refuse. Instead of a horse's head on a bed, it was a zombie's head on a bed.
It was. I kind of said, just tell Robert I have George Romero's number on speed dial. He's a friend of mine, which is true. I wasn't making it up. And George really, was my mentor. He really, gave me my first big deal in Hollywood.
What a mentor to fall back on.
Kidding.
And in this genre, that's the Godfather. We're doing too many
references. You're right. He is the
he's the guy.
Capo de capo. He's the Don. He is. You're right. Now that you mention it.
I mean, you look outside.
He is the Godfather.
All the original, Night of the Living Dead, they still draw a big crowd, and they're here today too in full force.
Right.
People look at this form of genre, and they're like, he's the one who started it all. And it's it's just so well done. And he was ahead of his time from back then.
I mean, there wouldn't. Obviously, it's kind of obvious to say there wouldn't be a Walking Dead without Romero, but it goes deeper than that. Robert told me one time that the moment he came up with the idea for The Walking Dead, and maybe this is again an exclusive for you viewers, this is the earliest you can go. This is the Big Bang Theory of the Walking Dead creation. You go back to Robert Kirkman, young guy in Richmond, Kentucky, watching the Day of the Dead by George Romero on a small 16-inch months black and white TV. I'm starting to embellish.
You're adding the drama to it. I love it though. It's great.
And so at the end of Day of the Dead, which is one of the great Romero films, it's the 3rd film in the Dead trilogy, the original Dead trilogy. Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Dawn of the Dead, like
which got that first. Was that one of the first X ratings? That was a big deal with that. And it was everybody wanted to get it. It was a teenager. We got to get in to see that.
And that was great. It was a great film. And then he pushed it further in this film, Day of the Dead. He went really way into all the possibilities. They try to teach a zombie. They try to train it like a pet. And all this has been explored in The Walking Dead in various ways and in other films, But here's Robert Kirkman, probably 20-something, still late 20s, in his basement, Richmond, Kentucky. His mom saying, "Turn it down, Robert!" Oh no, she would say, "Turn it down, Robert!" I had her like from Secaucus.
Yeah.
Where did she come from?
Who's that?
Robert, turn it down!
That's not my mother. Who's yelling at? That's the neighbor.
Staten Island.
Mom, I want some spaghetti.
No, his mom is saying, "Turn it down, Robert." And he sees the ending of the film, and at the end of that picture, the 3 or 4 main characters are sort of like a little sort of rainbow coalition of heroes, all races, genders, and they make it to a helicopter, and they make it to this this Huey, and they take off some military chopper that was left, and they take off and they fly across the south to an island somewhere off the coast of Florida, and they land, and then the music gets sort of happy, the seagulls, and they see clear sky, and there's an island, there's no zombies on the island, and maybe they can start a new society, and that's the end of the movie. And Robert's, as a kid, he's thinking, I mean, it wasn't a kid, I mean, he was a man, but as a young man, he's thinking, hey, wait a minute, what happens now?
Right.
They have no food, they have no water, and there's zombies all in, have infested the mainland and probably the entire globe. What happens now? Why do these things have to stop? You know, he's really thinking this primal thought of some, you know, imaginative, creative young man, and The Walking Dead was born.
And that's how it
start something
happens.
that will never stop. I ask him, and people ask him, you know, come on, you must have an ending in the back of your mind, you know, God forbid. Just say it's not. I hope it never ends. Believe me.
Maybe.
I've got kids going to college.
Maybe
I want it to end.
I think Rick's gonna wake up and he's gonna be in bed with Bob Newhart and say it was all a dream. That's what I think's gonna happen. He's gonna say Bob, and he's gonna say, I told you, don't show up in my house for appointments. You go to the office. I mean, that would be classic. That'd be epic, as we say.
Yeah, that's like the Dallas season.
There you
Dallas
go.
finale. Yeah.
So now, one last question, because I know you got other interviews lined up. What about seeing, you know, people love this cast, they love following it. We've been down in the, you know, the Georgia region and everything.
Right.
It's just natural. Why not have a cast that's based out of New York and how they're dealing with it in New York? And in LA, or maybe even overseas in England, like, you could develop a different show with a whole new set of characters, all trying to make it happen. And now I'm giving you a good plot line. You're the writer. And we could even arc stories together. Maybe Rick's group runs into the New York group. And there you go, and we have something big with that. I get copyright credit if you start writing this. You can call me as a consultant.
Well, as they say in the Chicago outfit, you know, it's possible something could happen. I'm just saying, things happen. People move to different places. It happens. You know, you could trip, you could fall down a flight of stairs.
You gotta watch
You could
yourself.
be in New York. You could be in L.A.
There's zombies
You never
there.
know.
Mom's calling for spaghetti at 7.
Bad things happen to good people.
I know you'll be right, and we're gonna leave it there. Jay Bonansinga, I'm losing my mind. This has been too funny. Good luck with everything. We look forward
Thank
to
you,
seeing the
man.
next
It's been a
book, man.
pleasure.
Very excited.
Been a pleasure.
You heard these exclusives first.